Today's episode is brought to you by Forvis Mazars. SoundCartel. From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. If you need a quick energy boost or to restore your faith in the new generation, just spend a few minutes with Michael Black, the founder and CEO of Success Tutoring, a business he started in high school. Now in his 20s, and with the company established across Australia, Michael's looking at international expansion. So what is Success Tutoring? Michael explains the business to Jeff Waters.
We're Australia's fastest growing education franchise, providing personalised tutoring for students in grades K to 12 in English and maths. I started the business straight out of high school in a spare room in my parents' house, and I bootstrapped the business when I was 17, and I'm 25 now, and we've grown the company to over 35 operating locations all across the country, and we're expecting to continue to grow into that trajectory in Australia and beyond.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Now, you said that you kicked it off on leaving high school. Did you have the idea before then?
Growing up in high school, I wasn't the smartest, actually. I didn't get the best marks, and I had to work hard for all the marks that I achieved. I mean, especially in maths, Jeff, maths is one of those subjects that's really tricky for a lot of students. And I was one of those students, and maths was very challenging for me. And my mum would actually drive me all across Sydney looking for a maths tutor. We'd go everywhere. We'd go to one-on-one sessions. We'd go to large group sessions. We'd go everywhere. And the fact is, we couldn't find a good maths tutor, unfortunately, and there's no happy ending or good ending to that story. I just simply didn't get maths.
Well, I'm somebody who thinks on the other side of my brain as well, so I can sympathise with you there, and it was maths that I needed a tutor in when I was in high school. But yes, back in the days of chalkboards. But please, so you spotted with your parents, presumably, a problem, a niche that needed to be filled. What was it that inspired you to turn that actually into a business?
Soon into my studies, when I was in year 11 and 12, I completed a few different subjects, and one of my strengths was English, and I did really well in that, and I eventually got a good ATAR. I got 93.15, and I was fortunate enough to be... Thank you. It was many years ago, but it's something that I remember because it was a milestone. It's something that I was really looking forward to and something that I was aspiring to achieve. And I ended up getting into the university that I wanted. And the reality is I did do tutoring when I was in year 11 and 12. I got tutored by a few tutors, and the ones that were most inspirational to me were those that were similar to my age. It was actually an ex-student that went to the same school I did, and he tutored me. And I felt very motivated and inspired by him because he would not just only tutor me, he'd mentor me. He'd believe in my ability and he'd say, "You can do it, Michael." And just before an exam, he'd send me a text message. So outside of the tutoring, he's not getting paid for what he's doing. He's actually sending me a text message a day before or a few hours before my exam saying, "I wish you the best, Michael. You're going to do a really good job." And that really motivated me. I was like, wow, that's so good. And that's something that one of the key reasons why I started Success Tutoring, because I believe, and I still believe today, that university students and people similar to the ages of students are very well equipped to be able to tutor and mentor students to achieve their ambitions. I mean, that's why Success Tutoring is about motivate, inspire, uplift, because that's what we do.
Well, on that, there are lots of tutors out there and there are lots of tutoring firms out there. What makes yours different?
Well, Jeff, traditionally tutoring has been for those that are falling behind massively, or those that want to get into selective tutoring or get into selective school, right? We cater to everyone. We've got three main groups of people that we serve. It's those that are falling behind, those that are keeping up at school and need that extra support, and those that want to go into selective. So the reality is, at Success Tutoring, our main focus has always been to motivate, inspire, and uplift students to reach their full potential. There are a variety of different point of differences. Everyone that you ask will have a different response. But to summarize, we motivate, inspire, and uplift students to reach their full potential. Our business model runs like a gym membership. So parents we know how parents are busy these days. They have an app, and the app is called Success Tutoring. It's a free app, by the way. And what happens is parents download it, they pick a location, and then they book on the app, and it's all per week. So they don't have to pay for a whole term or anything like that. So traditionally, tutoring has always been, you got to pay for a whole month or you got to pay for a term. Whereas with us, it's like it provides that convenience and that flexibility. Apart from that, we recruit and train motivated individuals that are all just recently graduated, and they're in university, and they're there to motivate, inspire, and uplift the students to reach their full potential. Also, we have some really good franchise partners that we have recruited all across the country, and they're usually mums and dads. Most of them are looking to get out of the 9 to 5, and they're looking at creating a meaningful business. A lot of them are experienced business people, others aren't. It's their first time running a business, but we've got a proven system that we follow, which is, we're a franchise, so they can use the systems and processes. So to summarize, there's a few different things that make Success Tutoring different. But what I will say, Jeff, is ideas are great, right? But execution is better. So I believe what makes Success Tutoring different and really stand out from the rest of the businesses is because we execute very well for all of our major stakeholders. That's the students, the parents, the franchise partners, everyone that we interact with. So that, I believe, is the key and the core thing that really makes us different.
So what major challenges did you find along the way, and did any of them have anything to do with your youth?
That's a really good question, Jeff. So when I started the business, I was very young. I was 17, right? And so I had to show people that I meant business. I had to get the results because they look at me, got a baby face. It's really hard to...
He does have a baby face, listeners.
It's very hard to convince people. I had to convince myself first, Jeff, actually. I had to convince myself because I had to believe before anyone else believed in me. And so that's what I did. I had to close my eyes and envision myself helping hundreds of students. I need to envision myself setting up a successful company and opening up franchises. That all these things, I had to believe in myself first. At the core, the business started at getting results for students. And that's what we did. The first 2 customers, it took me 8 months to get my first 2 customers. It was from a referral, by the way, from a friend of a friend. And we got those 2 boys, which I remember their name, Christian and Antonio. We got them amazing results. They were on an E and a D. Those were the grades that they had at school. And we got them all the way up to an A. And they've never received an A in their life. And their mum was over the moon. It was like we were doing miracles, Jeff. And that's what allowed us to grow. We were miracle makers. We were making miracles come true. And we had parents and students all across Sydney come to my parents' house in Bosley Park in a spare room to receive tutoring. And we continued to grow. We focused on the customer. We focused on the students. We ensured that we were getting the best results, and we cared for each individual student.
So it sounds like word of mouth gave you a good kickoff.
Sure did. And it was results at the end of the day that spoke volumes. I always believe age is just a number. You're never too young and you're never too old. I mean, the founder of KFC started in his 50s or 60s, and he built a remarkable business. And, you're never too young, you're never too old. The right time is now, in my opinion, that is.
Well, that's very generous coming from somebody in their 20s. So I'll take that on board, Michael. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, please, just finally, tell us about what's happening with your expansion plans.
We started in Bosley Park in a small suburb in Western Sydney, and we've continued to grow. We continue to grow. We're growing nationally. We've got locations in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, and in Perth. And we've got our eyes set on international expansion as well. We're looking into New Zealand and Singapore, and we really want to impact the world in a positive way. We want to make a big difference in the lives of students all across the globe. We want to motivate, inspire, and uplift students to reach their full potential. We're here. We grew up in Bosley Park. We grew up in Sydney, western suburbs. And we're here to stay, and we're here to grow, and we continue here to impact.
That's Michael Black, the founder and CEO of Success Tutoring. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow at BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily Podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Forvis Mazars. To find out more, visit forvismazars.com/au. That's FORVISMAZARS.com/au.